but kind of your vantage point of Bingham's swing there, and that's the inches of the game that just didn't go your way today.
Yeah, now that it's over, I will say when that ball was hit and he came in and went back, I said, man, this might not be in the cards. It was the first time I felt that because I just had such a positive feel all day. I was serious. I believe the game got in a good rhythm for us, and of course when they tied it, that changed that, but it was still a tie game after you threw 6 innings or whatever that was. But that just seemed like that was going to make it harder because they absolutely pitched it great, and I thought their starter absolutely got better late, kind of like we've seen so many times where Petrovic or Alvarez has just continued to go get another inning and 2/3 or 2 innings at the back end of an outing. They did that, and I thought Alex was great. He was settled early, but I thought he lost. I thought he maintained his fastball and lost his off speed. Those first 2 runs, Udemark definitely blew the gap there, but that was a walk and a hit by pitch, and I thought the off speed was wobbling a little bit, but still, with everything he's done trying to pass the baton to make it work for us, it became immediate to get Jackson in at that point, and then they just outlasted him too. Our guys have really, a handful of guys have really pitched some big work for us, and they just kind of squeezed them out. And then when that ball bang hits, if we can't find that ball down, and that ball was hit really hard, if that's not working for us, those were some of these inches in 2 days where they made us pay a little bit offensively, got more done, and I absolutely think they did the same thing on the mound too. And those combination of those two made it hard.
Third row left side.
Yeah, Coach, I spoke to you early in the year. You said you guys have a couple of hills you're going to die on. Can you talk to that at the end of the season now, how you felt those hills resulted?
Yeah, we talked about the leadoff man. I was disappointed yesterday that we got 6 of those guys on. Left a few base runners and really had a ton of opportunities. Now that today's game's over, I really felt like yesterday was big. But again, I think we were at 69-70% strikes yesterday. And we really wanted to do everything we could to try to elevate that to be one of the best staffs in America at that, and we did. But we were sloppier today on the mound, but I think that's credit to Ole Miss, where you just kind of like don't give in. You can't leave them pitches, because a couple of crippled pitches where you're shoving it in the zone. Right when we brought Cormier in, and then Alvarez would like to have that breaking ball back. Those 2 2-run homers were in the zone, so I do think you saw us picking a little bit more at the zone, and they kind of got us both ways. But the leadoff man is important, because the year before this year, that was like 51% of the time you negotiate a run out of that deal if somebody got that leadoff man on. For the most part for the year, that was a good strategy. But you can't say 2-out hits. That's what they got the first game. And then I thought we played good defense. And I think if this is a different room, a lot of the same people, I told our team we were good enough to, go to Omaha and win a national championship. I've been working hard for a decade to say that. And I don't stand here defeated today and not believe that. I do. But they absolutely did some things in 2 games. You play 60-plus games, you get to, somebody's got to beat you twice, and they absolutely did. But we're doing some things at a high level. We have a ton of momentum. But you have to earn it. And I think, we've only been able to go to 2 of these 5 super regionals to punch in there. Last year's team hurt even more, although I was really excited for this team to take us there. So I think we're good enough, and I think the guys are really upset. It's not a celebration and a pat on your back that you are in a super regional anymore. Maybe that's another step, but we have to just continue to try to work through this and try to get back there. But I have no regrets. My job is to try to put our guys in position. And then when you get to a mode like this, the last couple of years, your best players, ball's got to find. There's a little bit of randomness in our sport. Some things have to work out. And if I can just keep trying to put our program here, keep giving a good solid effort every day where people feel like we're trying to do the right thing, then I think we'll bust through. And so I know it's grown. I know I'm excited about that. And the only thing I told the players is what my coach told me, and he actually told them at the SEC tournament. Brian Shoup's an amazing man. He said, baseball is an amazing game. It's absolutely awesome, but it's a lousy guide. And I think that's kind of how I feel right now that I wanted to share with you.
Good. The camera stand in the back.
Butch, to piggyback off what you just said, just what has this team meant to you this year? What has this season meant to you, this journey getting to this point? And what are you most proud of your guys standing here today?
Yeah, I just saw a lot of growth with everybody, and I do appreciate them. And I seldom try to mislead or have something, behind the scenes going on. This has been one of my most joyous years. And a lot of times that's because Bub's over there smiling, or seeing one of these guys absolutely hook it up, or some of the series we won on the road last week was absolutely hard and tremendous at the same time. I was expecting it again, to be honest with you, but I've enjoyed since August with this team as much as anyone I've been a part of. So I guess I've told them, but I guess to make it public, I thank them. They get to have a great year, and they get to go out there and play ball and stuff like that. But to be able to be on this ride with them, appreciate them for that, especially 25th year in this league, for a team to be young and exciting and do some nice things, even if it kind of felt abrupt at the ending. This has been one of my best journeys personally, but I want the team to. I just want them to. I wish it hadn't ended for us, but nonetheless, they've been amazing to be with.
But you mentioned this team and the youth of it. I know that's kind of been a big foundation of it, is these young guys. But just to be able to have that young foundation as you start gearing up to build next year's team, just how does that impact building the roster for next year?
Yeah, keeping them in mind first. If you call it a nucleus or whatever you want to call it. We'll start meeting with guys tomorrow afternoon into Monday. So hopefully by the end of Monday we'll be through that. We've already started having a few guys in, but the nucleus is first. Close to home plate is second. And then if we feel like some people, once we figure out, I'm not giving up on these two guys yet. I want them to get an Auburn degree. I want to keep trying to figure things out for that middle of July with that draft. But this is all about nucleus first. Is there a piece or two once the dust settles on the future of these guys, and then plugging it in from there. So I think we are fortunate to where, like, man, did the youth finally get us or something in the grand scheme of things, and you don't make an excuse and things like that. But if that got us, it's really important to keep these guys together here and keep building them. And that's the nucleus. You're not going to hear just all portal. And people are doing that, or older clubs that don't have a choice. I feel like we're doing a good job of getting them here, developing them, growing them. It's an amazing sophomore class, and we had some freshmen help us again. And so being true to those guys and taking care of those guys properly, instead of them feeling like they got somebody over the top of them, we need to add complementary pieces that would fill in what we lose and would absolutely try to add value for us if we were. It's hard to get here, right? You can't just snap your fingers, and we didn't get through these two super regionals, these last two at home, but man, is it hard to get here. But just putting that quality club, can we make it better? Can we find a way to make it just a little bit better, but staying focused on this nucleus, number one?
We have time for one more question, Brian.
Butch, similar question, but do you think Ole Miss had a little advantage with the veteran lineup they had, veteran pitching staff, and is that something you're kind of looking forward to next year with this team?
I thought we'd match good, and I think we did. I think both of those games, I just thought, once they tied it, or once we were up 2-0, I'm like, we need to be the next team to score, and they scored. So does the veteran aspect factor into that? The quality of play? I'm not sure. I do think it's a benefit. I mean, some coaches will say you have to be old. I thought we were almost tricking that narrative there a little bit. So we played that game because I think we all believe that veterans in age, of course, is my answer, that it means something. We were just trying to trick the system, because when our back was against the wall after 24. I tried to do something that I thought was best for Auburn and not me as the coach, is what's the right way to build this. And that's where we came with the young guys and the 3 freshmen All-American last year, and then bringing in another group. I want them to come, I want them to stay, I want them to grow, I want them to pursue it here. And we were trying to do a little bit different. So maybe that's what nipped us at the end, but I still think there was a level of play that we played that maybe we just couldn't get to, or Ole Miss was able to keep us from getting there this weekend. But I don't regret what we did coming out of 24. They're back against the wall. Hopefully that'll start paying dividends as teams lose some guys, and we're still staying together and growing, hopefully, and adding some pieces.